Thabo, a young man from Johannesburg, had always dreamed of a better life. Growing up in the dusty streets of Alexandria, he watched as others seemed to rise effortlessly into wealth and fame, while he struggled just to make ends meet. Every day was the same. He worked tirelessly, waiting for his big break, but it never came. One day, at an exclusive celebrity event, he reconnected with Sifo, an old childhood friend who had suddenly become a household name. Sifo wore a gold chain, his clothes screamed luxury, and he had the kind of swagger that came with millions. Thabo couldn't help but wonder how Sifo had achieved this rapid success. "You're still hustling the same way, Thabo?" Sifo said, laughing as they caught up. "There's another way, a faster way. Trust me, if you're serious, I can show you the ropes." At first, Thabo was hesitant, but the pull of Sifo's lavish lifestyle was too much. Sifo led him to a secluded meeting spot in the outskirts of the city, where a man known only as the Seer waited. This man, surrounded by ominous carvings and unexplainable symbols, welcomed Thabo with a cold smile. "The spirits have already marked you," the Seer said, his voice deep and unyielding. "Wealth and fame are your destiny, but there's a price you must pay. Are you ready?" Thabo's heart pounded in his chest as the Seer outlined the rituals that would change his life forever. "You must show devotion," the Seer explained. "The spirits demand that you prove your loyalty. You will perform acts that no man would willingly choose, humiliating and filthy rituals. This will purify you, and once you prove your willingness, the riches will come." At first, Thabo recoiled in disgust. No sane person would do such a thing. But the images of Sifo's wealth, his cars, his fame, all the things Thabo had longed for, clouded his judgment. Desperation overtook his better sense. The first night was the hardest. Thabo prepared a meal, succulent steak, fries, and a bottle of expensive wine. He placed them on the floor, next to the toilet bowl, and forced himself to eat, every bite a struggle against his disgust. The rich, savory taste was tainted by the filth of the toilet. The wine burned his throat as he drank directly from the toilet, the water swirling around the bowl in a sickening whirl. The ritual continued for 7 days, each one more nauseating than the last. But Thabo's resolve never wavered. He began to see changes. His phone rang non-stop with job offers. Brands that he had once begged for a partnership with now threw money at him. Within weeks, he secured contracts that would change his life forever. Thabo bought a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, the kind of car that turned heads wherever he went. He rented a mansion in Santon, and soon his name was on everyone's lips. He had it all: fame, wealth, respect. But the price was steeper than he had imagined. The nightmares began. At night, Thabo would lie in his bed, but sleep brought no rest. He saw dark figures watching him, hovering above him like vultures, their eyes glowing red in the darkness. His dreams became filled with grotesque scenes, shadowy beings that whispered his name, their voices hollow and cold. He would wake up, drenched in sweat, unable to breathe, as if something was choking him. His once peaceful home felt like a prison, but the worst was yet to come. After completing the first ritual, the Seer instructed Thabo to perform 2 more chilling acts. The first involved a visit to the morgue. Thabo was ordered to enter a chamber where the dead lay. He had to perform an act of desecration, a ritual to seal his bond with the spirits. The morgue was cold, the air thick with the scent of death. Thabo felt a presence watching him from the shadows, and a chill ran down his spine. Suddenly the door creaked open, and the mortuary assistant stepped in, eyes wide with shock. "What are you doing? Someone's coming. You need to hide," the assistant hissed, rushing toward him. Panicked, Thabo quickly retreated into the shadows. the assistant left, and the air in the room thickened with an evil presence. When the assistant finally departed, Thabo returned, shaken but determined to complete the ritual. The seer's voice echoed in his mind. "The spirits are angry. You must start over." Thabo's stomach twisted, as he knew he could not back out. This ritual, like the first, was followed by more success and wealth, but it came at the cost of his sanity. Soon his body began to deteriorate. His health was the first casualty. He couldn't sleep without medication and his nerves were shot. His friends noticed how pale and distracted he had become, and his family grew worried. But Thabo continued, convinced that if he stopped, everything he had worked for would slip away. One evening, his younger sister Mandla came to him in tears. She was scared for him. "Thabo, you're changing," she cried. "This isn't you. Whatever you've done, it's hurting you. Please, stop." Thabo's heart sank. He realized that the wealth, the cars, the fame, it was all built on a foundation of darkness. He couldn't deny the pain anymore. His family was falling apart. His fiancée had left him, saying that he was no longer the man she had fallen in love with. His best friend, Saifo, had started distancing himself too, perhaps realizing that Thabo's success came at a terrible cost. But the final straw came one night when he received a call from a close friend. "Thabo, I don't know how to say this, but it's all falling apart," his friend said, voice trembling. "People are saying they've seen something, following you, something evil." Thabo felt his blood run cold. It was then that he knew. Everything that was happening to him, the nightmares, the crumbling relationships, the fear, was all because of the path he had chosen. The spirits were taking their toll, and there was no escaping it. In desperation, Thabo reached out to an old friend, Lerato, a devout Christian who had always warned him against such dark practices. "Thabo, I've been praying for you," Lerato said. "You've given yourself to darkness, but there's still time. You can turn around. Let go of this cursed path. True success doesn't come from spirits or rituals. Look to God like King Solomon did, and you'll find wisdom and peace beyond measure." Lerato's words hit Thabo hard. He had been chasing the wrong things. The wealth, the fame. It was all a trap. He remembered the story of King Solomon, who had been offered anything in the world, but instead chose wisdom and peace. Solomon's path had led him to great riches, not just material wealth, but wisdom that lasted beyond his years. Thabo's battle was not over, however. When he repented, he still faced one more hurdle. Evil creatures began to manifest in his room at night. They were dark shadows, with glowing red eyes and grotesque features, their whispers filled with threats. Each night, they promised to take his life if he didn't return to the rituals. But Thabo, now determined to reclaim his life, sought help from a true evangelical church. There, he fasted and prayed under the pastor's guidance, asking for total deliverance. It wasn't easy. The deliverance sessions were intense, and Thabo felt a constant battle within him. Yet with each prayer, the hold of darkness loosened, and over time, the nightmares ceased, the evil creatures vanished, and peace began to return to his life. Thabo's journey, once full of temptation and destruction, now follows a new path, one of integrity and wisdom. He learned that true success isn't about power or wealth. It's about living a life aligned with what is right. And now, with his faith restored, he is free. In his new life, Thabo followed the 4 principles of King Solomon. Seek to learn and invest in yourself. Solomon knew the importance of wisdom and understanding, and Thabo began to invest time in learning new skills and developing his talents, believing that knowledge was the true wealth. Be diligent. Work smart, not hard. Thabo realized that success wasn't just about working endlessly, but working strategically. He focused on smart, purposeful work that brought results without burning himself out. Diversify your sources of income. Solomon's wealth came from many sources. Thabo learned to diversify his investments. He began exploring real estate, side businesses, and other opportunities to ensure a steady flow of income from different channels. Grow your assets. Rather than squandering his wealth, Thabo started growing his assets, focusing on long-term investments that would build his wealth and ensure financial stability for years to come. By living out these principles, Thabo built a life of lasting success, grounded in wisdom and integrity, with peace at his core. True wealth and success are not found in shortcuts or dark compromises, but in a life built on integrity, wisdom, and faith. As Thabo discovered, the greatest riches come from investing in yourself, working with diligence, and trusting in a higher purpose. No matter how far you've strayed, it's never too late to rewrite your story and choose a path of light, peace, and lasting fulfillment.